So are you someone who wants to be more productive, but you can never find the time to get things done? You've tried the apps, you tried the hacks, you tried waking up earlier, you tried grinding harder, but nothing seems to stick. What if I told you that it's not time, it's not your calendar, it's not your schedule, it's not that you have too much going on, but instead it is your identity? Because in life, we don't get what we want, we get who we are. So in this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how to shift your identity, how to silence the distractions so that you can get more done in a day than most get done in an entire week. Now there's this idea that if you wanna get more done in a day, if you wanna be more productive, then you gotta be really good at time management. But guess what? That's a lie. Time management doesn't exist because time is fixed. And because time is fixed, we can't manage time, we can only manage ourselves against time. So when someone thinks that they have a time management issue, when someone thinks that they struggle with time management, what they're really saying is not, I need to structure my day better, I need to organize my calendar better, I need to develop some productivity hacks that actually work. What they're really saying is, I need to get better at self-management. And by self-management, I mean managing your emotion, managing your mental state, your energy, your perspective, your attitude, managing all these things, not your calendar, not your schedule. Because when you get really good at self-management, number one, you're going to be able to focus on the right things, but you also have the clarity to be able to do those things faster. Look, you get the same 24 hours that I get. I get the same 24 hours that you get. Now, someone can go and distract their 24 hours away, while someone else goes and procrastinates their 24 hours away, while someone else goes and builds a business, trains their mind and their body, leads themselves, their family, their relationships with excellence. What changed? The minutes didn't change, right? Because we all get the same 24 hours. We all get 1,440 minutes a day. So the minutes didn't change at all, but what changed was the meaning behind the minutes. See, that's what changed. Not the minutes, but the meaning behind the minutes. There's this guy named Ed Milet. Now, if you don't know Ed Milet, number one, check out his YouTube page. Definitely going to find some value there. Number two, he's like a high performer in the business space. And he has this concept where he breaks his days into 6-hour blocks. So instead of 24 hours being one day, to him, one day is 6 hours, right? So he gets 4 days into one. Now, he didn't change time itself because the sun rises when the sun rises, sun sets when the sun sets. It gets light when it gets light, it gets dark when it gets dark. Only God can control that, and he's not God. But what he can control is the meaning he assigns to the time that he has. And what he's doing, he's adding urgency. Because it forces him to move differently. It forces him to move with intention, right? There's this law called Parkinson's law that says work will expand to fill the time you have allotted for it. So if you have a task and you set 8 hours to finish this task, generally it's going to take you about 8 hours to finish it. If you have the same task and you don't set any time, like you give yourself unlimited amount of time, generally you're not going to finish it because work will always expand to fill the time that you have for it. So if you set an hour, it's going to generally take you an hour. If you set 5 hours, generally it's going to take you 5 hours. And he's using this law and this principle to his advantage because while everybody else is thinking, I got 24 hours to finish these 5 things, he's thinking, I only got 6 hours to finish these 5 things. So I can't get caught distracted. I can't get caught drifting. I can't get caught in conversations that are going nowhere. I can't get caught not making decisions. Can't get caught procrastinating. I have to move with intention. I have to move with purpose. And that is the power of redefining time because it creates a sense of urgency. Not by rushing, right? Because rushing and urgency is different. Rushing is just where you're moving just frantically. You're just moving all over the place, making a whole bunch of mistakes in the process. Rushing makes you sloppy. But when you move with urgency, you're moving with purpose, you're moving with intention. So it creates a sense of meaning and structure to the time that you have. The meaning that we assign to time is always going to be a reflection of our identity. Always. Think about it. A person that sees himself as a high performer, a person that sees himself as someone who has a purpose, someone who is meant to accomplish great things, they treat their time differently than someone who doesn't. They treat their time like it's expensive. But the person who just sees themselves as just an average Joe, you go to work, you go home, and like party a little bit, chill at home sometimes, like just a regular person. Someone that sees themselves like that, they treat their time like it doesn't matter. And not only do they treat their time like it doesn't matter, they treat your time like it doesn't matter. They involve you in conversations that go nowhere. They ask you to use your time for things that don't add value to your life. But it's not done on purpose. It's not done intentionally. They just don't have nothing urgent to protect. That's all. Look, the meaning that we assign to time can never be greater than the way we see ourselves. So if your identity is unclear, guess what? Your priorities are going to be unclear. The meaning you assign to time always will match your identity. And your identity is how you see yourself. The thoughts you believe to be true or untrue about yourself. So the meaning you assign always is going to match that thing. That's why productivity is like a mirror. It reflects back to us who we think we are. It reflects back to us what we think we're capable of. And this is why discipline is crucial in the process of getting more done in the day. Because discipline isn't just about an action, but discipline is about who you're becoming. It's about identity. It's finding the right habits, finding the right mindset, the character, beliefs, the ideas, perspectives, the right standards, the right environments. It's finding all of those things and making those things a part of you, right? Imposing those standards on you. So you just aren't doing them here and there. You aren't just, well, I'm going to eat clean for a couple days and then I'm going to go back to what I like. I'm going to go to the gym maybe for a week and then I'm going to fall off for 2 months. No, like you're acting in alignment with who you believe yourself to be. That's what discipline is finding all of those habits, all of those ideas, all of the right characters, all of the right beliefs, and making those things a part of you. Discipline is the single most important thing to create a stronger identity. Because the stronger your identity, the more efficient you are going to be with your time. So in order to get more done, you don't need more productivity hacks. You just need a stronger identity, which requires discipline. You need a clear vision of who it is that you want to become, and you need the actions to match that vision. Because it's when you create that type of alignment, that is when you create a stronger sense of identity. That is when you see your time as important. That is when you treat your time like it's sacred. So now let's talk about how do you get more done in a day than most people get done in an entire week. And the first thing you have to do is you have to silence the distractions. See, most people use distractions as an excuse for their lack of productivity, right? They'll use their distractions as an excuse when in reality, it's poor self-management rooted in a lack of clarity. Because distraction is nothing more than a symptom of a distorted vision. Because when your vision is unclear, when your vision is distorted, you can't move with intention because you don't know which way you're going. You don't have a clear direction. You don't have a clear path. It's just like you put something in the GPS or you're going to a certain place. You know exactly where you're going. You don't get distracted going down streets that you don't want to go down. You know exactly where you're going, so you follow the path that you know you're going. But when you don't have a clear vision, you can't move with intention like that. Right? And then when you have no intention, everything competes for your attention. And generally, everything gets your attention, which is why you keep getting distracted, which is why you keep picking up your phone. And then hours go by and you have nothing to show for it, which is why you're sitting around watching other people tell you your vision instead of capturing and defining it for yourself. And if you didn't catch that, that is watching television. I like how Myron Golden says it. right? He says, I don't watch television because I don't need nobody telling me my vision. And that's another person. Like, if you want to get some value out of your life, definitely go check out his channel. Don't even worry about listening to the videos first. Like, as soon as you see his name pop up, just hit subscribe, then go listen to his videos. And also, while you're in the process, come back to my channel. Make sure you subscribe, like, and comment, because it does help get this message out to the people that are looking to be more disciplined in their lives, right? So it helps the channel. But like Myron says, right? We don't need nobody else telling our vision. So when you constantly getting caught in distractions, it's because that your vision isn't clear, right? Distraction is a symptom of a distorted vision. And distraction doesn't mean that you're weak, but it just means that your vision isn't clear enough to filter your focus. That's all it means. Because once you create the vision that you want, once you create that clear picture, guess what? Distractions don't have a chance. They may try to impose on what you're doing, but at the end of the day, they won't get through because you have a clear intention. You have a clear direction on where you're going. For instance, have you ever been running late somewhere? Let's say you're going to a birthday party, right? You got your nephew's birthday party. You got your mom, your grandma, somebody that you care about. And you're running a little late to the party, but then you forgot the card. So then you got to go to the store and grab a card. When you're running late, you aren't stopping in all these other aisles. Like, oh, well, let me check this out while I'm here. Oh, let me check. No, like, you're number one, you're running late. So you're moving with a sense of urgency. Remember that time gap? Time will fill the Parkinson's law. Work will fill the time that you have allotted for it. So number one, you have this specific time to get to the party, so which creates urgency. You aren't checking out all these other things. You're going straight to the card section, finding the best card that you can find with the time that you have, and you're getting out of the store. You have a clear vision and a clear picture of exactly what you need. You know exactly where you need to go to get it. You pick it up, you go, you leave, you get to where you got to go. It's the same thing. When you have a clear picture of where you're going, when you have a clear vision of where you want to be, distractions don't stand a chance at all. So number one, you want to silence the distractions. Number two is you want to create an environment that is set up for success. Look, your environment is either working for you or it's working against you, right? Most people lose the battle of productivity before they even start because their environment is set up for comfort, not for focus. And the best thing that you can do is set up an environment that is designed for productivity. Look, it is hard to be productive when your phone is constantly going off. It's hard to be productive when you're surrounded by noise. It is hard to be productive where everybody else is doing something opposite of what you're trying to get done. It's hard to be productive then. This is why people go to the library. Because it helps to eliminate those distractions and it helps set their environment up for success so they can be productive, finish the thing that they want to get done. And then they're also surrounded by a bunch of other people who are doing the same thing, right? Who is a part of the same environment, which helps you to stay focused. So it's all about setting your environment up for success. Look, I'll tell you what I do. So when I'm working, I spend a lot of time. What I do is I cut off the lights. I put my phone on Do Not Disturb. I put my noise canceling headphones on and I do the work that I am attempting to get done. Right? And I'll spend hours in that space because I eliminate the distractions. It makes it so much easier to focus because I don't have any other distractions. I don't have anything to take me out of focus on the thing that I'm working on. Right? And that is one thing that can help you to get more done in a day than most people get done in an entire week because it 10x's your focus. Not because it makes you better, but because it makes distractions harder. Look, sometimes the best distraction is to stop fighting the distractions, right? And start designing around it, I should say, right? So you want to stop fighting the distractions, but start designing around us. Like, okay, I know I can't have this, so I'm going to eliminate that. I know I don't get any work done when I'm at home, so I'm going to go to the library. right? You're designing around the distraction versus trying to fight the distraction. You're staying home knowing that you can't get a lot done, knowing that either you got kids or knowing that the where you stay is loud and you can't focus, right? You want to design around the distraction versus trying to fight the distraction. And sometimes it's not about being more disciplined either. Sometimes it's just about creating less temptations. Yeah, that's what it's about. Creating less temptations. So you want to create an environment that is set up for you to win. And next, you want to examine your energy. This is something that not many people talk about because sometimes you just don't have a distraction problem. Sometimes you just got an energy problem because you can have the perfect schedule. You can have the perfect vision. You can have everything perfect to set you up for success. But if you don't have energy, guess what? You're going to underperform every single time. So sometimes productivity is not about your calendar. Sometimes it's about your capacity. How much you have in you to give. Do you have the clarity? Do you have the mental focus? Do you have the energy that you need to give everything you got to the task that is at hand? Because if you're exhausted, if you're drained, if you're stressed, then you're not going to get much done because your energies are low. Your energy is low. So you have to protect your energy. But this includes both your spiritual energy and your physical energy. Because the law of energy says energy is not created nor destroyed. It's just transferred from one to another. And what that means that all energy is already here, right? You're not creating new energy. We don't create energy. All energy is already here. We don't destroy energy because everything is already here. It's just transferred from one to another. It's like going into a space that is high energy and like you can feel the energy and like you're feeding off the energy. And then when you leave that event, you're like, your endorphins are going. It's like, man, that was great. But it's because energy is transferable. Going to the gym, right? Lifting weights, that is a transfer of energy. And getting around people who have low energy and they're just draining your energy. That is a transfer of energy. And when you get done talking to them, like now you don't have any energy, right? Because they done took it all. A transfer of energy. And so this means guarding your mental energy, protecting yourself from people, from content, from conversations that drain you, getting around people, taking in content, getting involved in conversations that provide you with energy versus that drain you with energy. So you got to guard your mental energy. You got to train yourself. You got to train your body and you got to eat like a high performer, right? Because that's going to give you energy. That is a transfer of energy. The food, it has energy. When you consume it, you then get energy. It is transfer of energy, right? The body is like an engine. If you aren't fueling it properly and you aren't putting in the right fuel, then guess what? It's not going to take you where you want to go at all. So you want to examine your energy. And the last thing is you want to protect your momentum. This is simple. People that get done more in a day than others get done in a week, it's not that they're motivated, but it's that they're riding their momentum. That's all. Like when you first start looking to be more productive, when you first start looking to get more done, one of your main goals and one of your main priorities, aside from creating a vision, is developing some momentum. Because the people you see that's posting every day, the people you see that's going to the gym every day, the people that you see that is eating a consistent diet, it's not that they're motivated. It's just that they have momentum. And momentum makes everything easier. But the way you build momentum is not in these large steps. You build momentum by keeping things small, keeping it simple, and starting slow. And then you continue to build off of that, right? So you want to protect and prioritize your momentum. And that means prioritizing your momentum from other people too, because people will also ask you to do things that you might can't do right now. And because you can't do them, that is okay. But you prioritizing your momentum will matter more in the long run than getting that momentum thrown off, and then now you got to start back over, right? Momentum is a beautiful thing. So you want to make sure you protect your momentum. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, because again, it does help the channel. It does help push this message out for those that are looking to become more disciplined, those that are looking to be the best they can be and elevate themselves, right? So make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe, and I will catch y'all in the next video.